Hey everyone, I came across this video and for starters, here's the deal, and this kid are absolute menaces. They are retarded. They're stupid. They're defending a guy who literally, they're like, oh, he failed to stop on a stop sign at Walmart Way, and this, and oh, but the two streets don't connect. This road here is Walmart Way. That road up there is not Walmart Way. This road is Walmart Way. This is the intersection he refused to stop at. He blew through this stop sign and then traveled all the way around. This guy was actively running from police in his pickup truck, and his own dash cam showed it. Yeah, he's screaming about this, that, another, and it's like, okay, he was at Home Depot. This is his travel. This is his travel through Home Depot before he fled. And look, he left Home Depot and took off. Takes me on a high-speed chase. Yes, this kid is an idiot. This kid is an idiot, and this guy is helping the kid be an idiot. Lights and sirens, trying to stop the guy. That's the intersection. That's the intersection right there. That's Walmart Way. That's it right there. Look. There's Walmart. There it is, right there. Yeah. He ran the stop. Look. Wait for it. Watch. There's the cop. Lights and sirens. Stop sign. They keep cutting and holding these scenes. He just cut in front of that vehicle. That vehicle, you notice how that vehicle has skids? Watch. Going frame by frame for you peoples. Nothing. Look. Skidding tires. The whole front end drops. That car literally slams on its brakes to let this asshole in. This is called fleeing. Stops his vehicle, all this stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, this is the fun part." He says, "Oh, he didn't ram into the cop car. The cop car pulled out in front of him, and the cop car slammed his driver's door into the truck." That's not what this shows. Cop stops. He has all the time in the world to stop. Look at that. I want you to look at where the cop car is. That's where it stopped. That's the cop car stopped. Cop car stops right there. He's turning. Instead of going around the front of the cop car, he cuts the corner harder and cranks his wheel into the cop. Impact. Right there. That's the impact. Moves the car sideways. moves it even further, even further, even further, even further, and that's where it comes to rest. He moved the cop car about 8 feet. Yeah. Then he refuses to get out of the vehicle. Look at. He instead of driving around the cop car that way, he jacked the truck all the way over to forcibly hit that sheriff. Keep in mind, he's already driven about 6 miles in circles going all over this place. Driving here, there, and everywhere. He's like, I'm protecting my kid. No, you're not. No, you're not. They're like, oh, why would you need multiple cops to show up at a scene? Well, the call was he made a threat to a deputy or an officer at Home Depot. He made threats and then left. The deputy called it in, and when police tried to stop him, he fled Home Depot and traveled all the way to Walmart. Refused to get out, refused to do anything. They give all these stupid maps and stuff, and they're like, oh, this, that, and another, and he's actively fleeing police. This is not a First Amendment auditor. This isn't a conspiracy. This isn't military multi-cop Home Depot conspiracy. This is a man who made a threat to an officer at a store, fled the store, ran from police, hit police with his vehicle. Oh, but he didn't do it because the cop boxed him in. No, the cop parked, and instead of driving around the front of the cop car, he turned into the cop car and struck it. He had what, 10 yards to either stop or 30 yards to drive around the damn guy. But no, he chose, instead of going this way around all these vehicles and stuff, he purposefully chose to turn into the cop car. Look at all the space between that cop car and that pickup truck. He had all the room in the world, but he didn't choose that. He chose to hit the truck, or hit the cop car. Look at, he purposefully cranked his wheel to hit that cop car. It's like all this crap. He drove all over the place to flee. Multi-cop. Oh yeah, multi-cop, because he's a fleeing suspect. He was told to stop and he refused. He was told to get out of the vehicle. He refused. This kid's a moron. This asshole here is actively pushing a false narrative saying the cops are the bad guys. They're not. Both the kid and this guy and the kid's dad, complete morons. Look at this. He's actively trying to fight officers for telling him to get out of the vehicle, and it goes on and on and on and on. He's like, you don't have a right to stop me. You can't do this. They're demanding that the police officers be fired. They're having a petition. They set up a petition to get this officer fired. 133 morons sign this petition. And then you scroll through all these comments, and it's a bunch of tards supporting this crap. This piece of shit father threatened an officer in a store, fled after being told to stop, drove all around the area, being chased by police with sirens on, telling him to pull over, drove through a parking lot, physically saw a cop and said, I'm going to hit him, and hit him, then fought officers punching and hitting at them as they're trying to get him out of the vehicle. And then he goes, what crime do you suspect me of? There's a multitude of crimes. I mean, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I hope to God that they throw the book at you, and I hope that your kid goes into the system and goes to actual parents who actually know what they're doing, because you don't deserve that child, because all you're doing is indoctrinating them to be some kind of militia resistance. This kid, this right here is going to lead that kid to living in the mountains on a compound with a bunch of people and ammonia nitrate in barrels. They're going to be up there in their little compound, talking about how the government is trying to track them through their poop. It's insanity. Don't be like this. Here's the deal's a moron. The kid's a moron. The dad in this situation is a moron. These cops are trying to stop a crazed lunatic. And people are like, well, the cops are the bad guys. Not all cops are bad guys. But here's the deal as a moron. And this is just sad. It is. It's just sad. But that's it for now.